Here's your news rush for August 1st, 2026. 6 stories. Let's go. The rescue phase in Kumamoto is turning into something slower and harder. Officials say 36 people are now confirmed dead from Tuesday's magnitude 7.1 earthquake, up from 34 yesterday. 7 of those deaths came from the explosion that brought down the shopping mall in Kashima, and more at a paper mill in Yatsushiro. But the story is shifting. Reports say Kumamoto is now dealing with a water shortage on top of the structural damage. That is the pattern in almost every major quake: the collapse kills quickly, and then the loss of water and power decides how bad the following weeks get. Yesterday we reported tens of thousands of people crossing into Ceuta. Today the crowd has largely gone. Spain's Foreign Minister José Manuel Alvarez says almost all of the roughly 50,000 people who entered the enclave since Thursday have returned to Morocco. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez called the influx an attack and a violation of Spain's territorial integrity, and promised to speed up repatriations. But the reversal does not undo the cost. At least 18 people died trying to make a crossing that, days later, almost everyone has now made in the opposite direction. One border crisis is now threatening the thing that makes the European Union feel like one place. Reports say Italy has threatened measures including suspending Spain from the Schengen zone after the mass arrivals in Ceuta, while France says it will reinforce border controls with Spain. Here is why that is bigger than it sounds. Schengen is the passport-free travel area, and it works only because every member trusts the others to police the outer edge. Suspending a founding member is not a punishment for Spain so much as an admission that the trust has cracked. Iran has moved from firing missiles to stopping ships. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it hit and stopped 2 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, and that 4 others turned back after receiving Iranian warnings. But that is a different kind of pressure from an airstrike. The strait is the choke point roughly a fifth of the world's seaborne oil passes through. That means Iran does not have to close it to move the price, it only has to make insurers and captains believe it might close. Turning 4 ships around costs almost nothing and does exactly that. An outbreak most people stopped hearing about has quietly become historic. Reports say the Democratic Republic of Congo's Ebola outbreak has passed 3,530 confirmed cases, making it the world's second largest by recorded infections, with 1,556 deaths reported. But that ranking is the part worth sitting with. That means only one outbreak in recorded history has infected more people, and this one is still being counted. We are reporting what health authorities have published, nothing more. Yesterday it was a road map. Today Hamas says there is a signature on it. Hamas says it has agreed to a written Gaza ceasefire deal for the second phase, but conditional on Israel fulfilling its obligations under the first phase, which it says include withdrawal and reconstruction. Notice who is speaking. This is Hamas describing what Hamas has agreed to, and the conditions attached point at the other side. That is not the same as a deal both parties have confirmed, and until Israel responds, the conditional half is the whole story. That's your news rush for today. Subscribe so you never miss a day.